Today we are taking a look at one of the largest, most expensive, and best Pain statues on the market. This statue is made by Jimei Palace, and we're not just unboxing a statue today, I'm actually going to be painting a painting. If you know me, I don't have an artistic bone in my body, but I do have this amazing kit that I bought that's going to help me to be able to paint Naruto versus Pain. Let me just get this box out of the way real quick. And here we have it. It kind of looks like a treasure map at first, but it's got an amazing little outline here of all different areas. You're just supposed to paint certain colors, and so I have those paints aside, but we're going to be doing this together at the same time unboxing the statue. I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what this looks like when it's all fine, done, and painted. Throughout the video, stay tuned as I'll be giving you kind of sneak peek previews of how it's going and what it looks like, and then we'll see a final reveal at the end. Without delay, let's jump on in and take a look at this amazing statue by Jimei Palace. This is the second time I've had the privilege of unboxing a statue from this studio. They do such a bang-up job even with the box. They even spent time dressing up the bottom of the base. Really, you don't even see this once the statue's displayed and put together, but that's what they do, all details in all the time. So we have the Naruto logo, the red clouds, Jimei's logo on the right side, also the edition size on the bottom. Because of the size and weight of this bad boy, I did put it on my glass Lazy Susan. We'll spin it and take a look at some of the details. Over on this side, we'll notice that the same ring or the kanji that we have on his ring that he wears is right there on the side. It's a good little detail they added in. And then all sorts of clouds, rock, dusty details are going to be flowing from out the statue. As you would imagine, they're flowing upwards as we're going to be building a giant diorama to accent this statue. As you may have noticed, the very front is missing the nameplate. That's because they sculpted that separately, and here it is. Sometimes studios do give you options with different languages. For this one, it is only going to be in Chinese because the license owner, Jimei, only has the license for China distribution. That's why actually Jimei products are going to become really hard to get a hold of, and that's why this one is honestly such a grail to have in the US. As of right now, it's been 2.5 hours since I started, and man, did I bite off more than I could chew. But thank goodness, over in the top right corner, I do have the best Pain statue ever as the inspiration to keep on going. It is all uphill from here, and what I mean by that is we're going to be building a giant diorama that's going to be going upwards. There is the main, kind of the backbone of the statue with that notch and steel rod that goes up into that cloud, and here we can see all sorts of other little notches were sculpted into these rocks as well, as different pieces are going to be building on top of different pieces. They're all going to be so interconnected and leaning on each other to create a stable foundation. For the most part, all these pieces do look very similar, but what I love is even though they're standalone diorama pieces, they look dynamic as if there is action and movement going on in each piece. And again, Jimei not taking any shortcuts at all, so they have so many different layers on each rock and dust cloud. This next piece coming up is going to be the most important, kind of the epicenter, focal point of the statue. We can see that large sphere in the center there. Again, for stability, we have the notch and steel rod, but we'll notice if we flip this around back, there is a battery pack here, so it's not plugged in by electricity, although I do have an alternative method I want to share with you. These do take 2 AA's in the back, and so what I do is I actually use, here's the normal batteries that you would buy from any kind of store and use for the statue, but what I like to use is these electronic batteries. I will have a link in the description, or if you search my BAM Collectibles Amazon store, you'll find them up there as well. I really do vouch for these. They're amazing. What they do is they take away from the need of replacing batteries over time, and you can plug these in using electricity. And the other thing I love is when I turn my normal lights on, or all my other statues, the different effects come on, these turn on with it, so I can constantly leave it on. It doesn't suck batteries. You don't have to waste so many over the course of time. So I really do recommend these. If you have any statues that have battery powered LEDs, get these electronic batteries. For this review, I am going to be using batteries because the AC adapter that powers the electronic batteries is behind my display case. This piece right here is going to be used to cover up that battery pack. We have a magnet on the bottom left and over here on the top right. And what this does is once you're done accessing and putting the batteries in, turning it on, you can just slip that right into place. And here is what it looks like on. I am a sucker for LEDs, so having this in here really is great. Brings that focus right to the center of the Chibaku Tensei. And if we adjust the exposure, you can see all those lines and details. But usually it does blow it out, so it looks like a giant white glowing orb. They really did make it easy as well to access that back battery pack. Just pop it open, flip the switch, and everything's off. At this point in time, I'm about 6 hours deep in progress. I am relentless when I do take on a project, so I'm going to keep on going, trying to focus, getting this bad boy done. For now, I'll go ahead and install the last remaining diorama pieces that bring this to life. A lot of them do look very similar to what we've seen so far, so we'll go ahead and skip them. A lot of pieces that they sculpted separately on here, but that's really what they're known for, bringing those details alive. And here it is in the dark, every bit as glorious as it was seeing it in the light. In this moment of the series, it was definitely one of the most powerful jutsus we have seen anyone use, and so to really reinforce that fact, we have all these yellow clear resin pieces that they sculpted. They have magnets on the bottom with a notch carved out, and we'll see the kind of the clarity of their resin, of Jimei Palace's resin, is always amazing. It's perfect for what you'd expect, and I'll go ahead and install the rest of these on here. It's enforcing the fact that we have that upward gravitational pull that's going on towards the top. Quick silly story, I actually had to phone in a friend to ask him where to put certain pieces because I thought I was short one or couldn't find one. Turns out my pug was sitting on it. She was laying on the dang piece. But what we see here in the background is one of the largest pieces they sculpted. Actually, this is extremely impressive that they sculpted something of clear resin and this large, this fragile, and their packaging is always amazing as well. So you'll notice it had two different notches on there. There's a rock that's going to go on the bottom here and another one on top. Looks amazing, and what I love is it doesn't take away from all the other diorama pieces that's going on, but it just enhances the overall feel of the statue. And here we have the last of the diorama pieces. I should have probably put this on earlier, but I didn't want it standing and just floating in the air, but it gives off that feeling and effect again, like there's the power of the jutsu going on with the gravitational pull. Here we have that main body for Pain. On the bottom, we got the steel rod and the notch where he connects to the bottom of the base. Nicely painted toenails going on there. And the rest of the outfit, so this isn't a highly textured statue. Usually there is some texture that goes on in certain pieces. This one didn't go for that, which I'm totally fine with. This is kind of the standard that I see for most anime statues. Those red clouds look amazing. And then also just kind of the positioning of it is awesome. I do love the ripped cloak here that does represent this scene in this moment very well. For when he did have his battle with Naruto, so he was transforming into all the different tails. And what's really cool is you can see the gap in between the hands, so you can tell that those two were sculpted separately. And it feels, you know, sometimes I see people do this pose with statues and the hands are almost fused together because of how close it is. The one thing I will say is probably I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit of blood or battle damage scarring, because he should have been coming through a fight or a battle, and it looks almost a little bit too clean for my liking. I'm not sure if they could have gotten that approved by the licensor or something. It might have been an issue on that end. As for the head sculpt, it's perfect. I've seen many Pain statues in my time of collecting, and this one definitely rises above to be probably one of the top 1, 2, or 3 that I've seen. The hair coloring and the shading that goes into that looks great, and the cleanliness of the overall paint job, right? The headband, the symbol, the black wrapping that goes around it, also his eyes, just a fantastic job. Before, I did mention they had two different head sculpts, so the second one's going to come in with no headband on, so no facial changes at all, just that piece of clothing. I think this is my preferred head to go with. Let me know in the comment section if you like the one with the headband or the one with it off. So here is the first option with the headband, then we'll go ahead and transition to the headband off. If anybody recalls, one of my favorite statues of all time, Surge Studio Pain, here's the head sculpt for that. What I love is the emotion that he's outputting here. I wish they would have included that on one of the head sculpts, because this is that moment, right? Everybody remembers that scream that he used while using the Chibaku Tensei, so it would have been cool to have. And here's a look at the scales as well. This is 1/8 on the right for Surge and 1/6 for the left for Jimei Palace. I tell you what, I can just hear that main theme from the Akatsuki playing in the background as you see one of these statues come together. What an incredible job. Taking a step back, here is everything all together. I love, again, that feel. Look at that giant piece of resin on that right side just wrapping around, giving off that feeling that that light in the LED, the center, is pulling in all this stuff to begin as it raises up in the air. As for the edition size coin, we'll see that the front is just a silhouette of Pain there, and on the back we will see the name, studio logo, my edition size on the bottom there. So a cool little trinket they have if you want to display that on the side. They also have the acrylic stand that you can use. I'm not too much into displaying edition sizes, but those are cool. And here's something I do love displaying next to statues, if you do not follow my channel, is Naruto cards. So this one is just an example of one that I have that's been sent away to be graded, and I can't wait to have it come back and display it next to the statue. And with that done, let's take a look at the final view of the Pain versus Naruto painting. And after 13 hours, I present to you Naruto versus Pain. If you want to see an Instagram reel or TikTok short of this statue and also this painting, go ahead and head over there. Links in the description to my profiles. I would love to create some more shorter content there in the future for sure. Thank you so much, everybody, today for joining in. I hope you enjoyed yourself. As always, I'll see you in the next unboxing video. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.